Honest J. Nowak. Oh yeah. A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to Honest J. Nowak, Mark of the Line. And so, let's get on into some more subjects here, and more importantly, let's talk a little bit more about America's utilization of the automotive marketplace by talking about another well-known company in this exact field known as Buick. Out of all American-based marques out there in existence, Buick is probably one of the best that I've come to know about. When you take a look back at the history that Buick's had, it's just incredible to get to know about the company itself. When it was first started, it probably was not necessarily having a lot of expectations, high or low, depending on how you look at it, at its history in general. But in terms of how Buick has gone so far, man, has it been selling like crazy. Compared to many other companies out there, it's basically enough to give some marques a run for their money. When you consider companies out there like Ford, Toyota, and, well, Mercedes-Benz to pretty much be the top sellers by this point, you probably wouldn't be thinking that some other companies out there would be willing to fight for the top spot on the podium based on the best car marques in history. But the thing is, there have been a lot of contenders that have sometimes tried and failed, and sometimes there are some that have tried and are continuing to try their best to innovate and to really progress through their business themselves. Buick is one of these contenders that happens to really be fighting for domination over the global marketplace, as it does happen to be selling in all sorts of locations, not just from the States, but there have been several overseas that Buick sales have taken place. It's pretty similar to how some other American-based manufacturers are also doing something very similar to this, where they're basically selling overseas as a way to help make extra profits for the companies themselves. Some have done that, and most of the time it proves to be successful. I've talked a bit about Cadillac and the way that the decline of sales in America have caused the company to nearly flop, but when it comes to the Chinese marketplace, it seems to be skyrocketing tenfold. And that just proves that sometimes drastic changes would have to be taken place in order to ensure a business's success is still intact. And Buick certainly is holding its ground very well, as it is based on a lot of locations throughout the world. But the thing is, in terms of models, it's pretty big. The Lucerne, Park Avenue, Regal, as well as the Avenir, Encore, Envision, and tons of other models out there. They are, without a doubt, probably one of the best American sellers out there that we still have around this time. And there are still a lot of other American-based manufacturers that are also still doing pretty well. Chevrolet, Ford, Tesla, Dodge, Chrysler, and many of its subsidiaries. So that just goes to show that as long as we're going to continue having ourselves a time where these companies are still going to remain intact, then it just means that we're going to continue going the way that the economy is pretty much going to be going for, and with the marketplace continuing to make sales. So that's probably all I can put together based on this whole thing about Buick and all of its things that have gone so far. But I will say that in terms of other companies out there, I guess it's time to go back overseas a little bit, because I'm pretty much finished with the Japanese marketplace, the Italian marketplace, and many other marketplaces known throughout the rest of the world. But I suppose it's about time to return to England tomorrow to talk a little bit about something different. Another company out there that I had pretty much not touched up on all this time. So if you want to see more go down on my channel, then make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.